Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Wednesday, 8th of January 2025. This day is celebrated as Earth's Rotation Day. Every year on January 8 is recognized as the Earth Rotation Day. Today marks the anniversary of the French physicist Leon Foucault's 1851 proof that the Earth revolves on its axis. Going towards the world news, including Los Angeles declares emergency as a raging wildfires. Ignite cars home, 30,000 people are ordered to evacuate. Two killed, one critically injured in shooting at a company's premises in Germany. Trump declines to rule after using the military force to control Greenland and Panama Canal. New York appeals court rejects Trump bid to delay Hashmi sentence. Bangladesh revokes passport of ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Two bodies found in landing gear of JetBlue plane at Florida airport. Now going towards the Hindu newspaper, we have the many structures already destroyed in the Pacific Palisades wildfire. California governor says a U.S. flag flutters amidst smoke and fire as the Palisades fire burns during a weather-driven windstorm on the west side of the Los Angeles, California, United States, January 7, 2025. Firefighters are scrambling to corral flames churning alongside hillsides in the Los Angeles as winds have gained strength across the southern California. Firefighters scrambled to quell a fast-moving wildfire in the Los Angeles hillsides, dotted with the celebrity homes as a fiery windstorm in southern California on Tuesday, January 7, 2025, fanning the blaze seen for miles as scores of residents abandoned their cars and fled on foot to safety with the road blocked. The rebounding of Pakistan's Afghan strategy after the Pakistani air strikes in the Parmal district of eastern Paktika province. The return of Taliban has made Afghanistan a strategic teacher for Pakistan's security establishment. On December 27, 2024, the Director General of the Pakistan Inter-Service Public Relations (ISPR) said that 383 officers and soldiers in the Pakistani security forces had lost their lives in the counter-terrorism operations during 2024. He also claimed that 925 terrorists and the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan ITP terrorists had been eliminated in approximately 60,000 intelligence-based operations, giving a detailed account of Pakistan's generosity towards Afghanistan. He not less asserted that Pakistan would not allow its citizens to be targeted by the TTP, which is alleged to enjoy safe haven in Afghanistan. It is, however, ironic logistical, military, and moral support to the Afghan Taliban and Haqqani network. The two formerly insurgent camp terrorist groups now leading our outcasts to regime the Kabul during their fight against the West-backed Afghan government and American security forces. Pakistan's Special Representative of Afghanistan, Mohammad Sadiq Khan, had visited Kabul in December 2024, where he had held a prayers with the top-ranking Taliban leaders to de-escalate the tensions between the two countries. But this is likely to be a diplomatic failure, as it was during his stay in the Kabul that the Pakistan Air Force conducted airstrikes against the alleged TTP targets in the eastern Paktia province. On December 24, the Afghan authorities claimed that 46 people were killed in the airstrikes, which were apparently in response to the TTP's attack on December 21 on a security post in the South Waziristan, killing 16 Pakistani soldiers. Now going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that India extends ex-Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's visa amid extradition called by Dhaka. Bangladesh deposed Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina speakers during a press conference in Dhaka, Bangladesh on January 6, 2024. New Delhi, India has extended the visa of deposed Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who has been in the countryside at last August to people familiar with the mad set against the backdrop of growing calls in the Dhaka for her extradition. Hasina, 77, fled into the India after stepping down amid nationwide protests. She been incommunicado since she arrived at Hindon Air Base on August 5, though it is learned that she has been moved to safe house in Delhi. The interim government in Dhaka, led by the Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, sought her extradition through a note, verbal or unsigned diplomatic correspondence sent to the External Affairs Minister on December 23. GDP growth hit 4-year low of 6.4% in financial year 2025 government estimate. National Statistical Office (NSO) released the first advanced estimates of the GDP for the fiscal year of 2024-25 on Tuesday, projecting GDP growth of 6.4%. New Delhi, the Indian economy is expected to grow at 6.4% in the 2024-25, signing a significant loss of momentum when compared to the 8.2% growth in the 2023-24, driven by a slowdown in investment. This number has been since the pandemic-induced a contraction of 5.8% in the 2020 to 2021, and is also lower than the both Reserve Bank of India's government's initial forecast, suggesting that the policy establishment either did not see the slowdown coming or was complacent about the headwinds to the growth, including those generated by the monetary policy. Going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, GDP growth seen at a 4% lower of 6.4% on weak manufacturing and investment. In the second half of financial year 2025, consumption will likely accelerate, but investment may remain flat. The previous GDP data released on November 29, 2024 has shown the GDP growth slipping to 7-quarter low of 5.4% in July to September month of 2024, mainly due to the sluggish growth in manufacturing and declaration in the mining and quarry. Reserve Bank of India asks credit bureaus thanks to pay rupees 100 compensation per day for delay in the data updation. Further, CIC should inform the customers by email or SMS when their credit information is sought. Bank of NBFC and banks should inform the customers when they are in the default. In order to institutionalize a continuing mechanism for the reviewing and making the changes where necessary in the data formats, a technical working group (TWG) should be formed at the Reserve Bank of India. Ketan Parekh 2.0. The return of the kingpin of the two stock SAMs nearly a quarter of the century apart. On January 2nd, the Security and Exchange Board of India (SEBI) devoured Dalal Street scam tainted the trader Ketan Parekh and others for legal front-running of traders of the United States-based foreign portfolio investor. Ketan Parekh indulged in manipulative trades that led to the stock market's crash in 2001. Going to science and tech, we have how curiosity-driven research in the worm won 4 Nobel Prizes, an image of Cyanor habitus eleganus worms. While it is hard to predict where the next major scientific breakthrough will arise, the Cyanor habitus eleganus story illustrates how curiosity can lead to term with the potentially significant benefits for humankind. Victor Ambros and Gary Rukun won the 2024 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for the discovering of microRNAs and their role in the controlling gene expression. This pioneering discovery was made using the roundworm Cyanor habitus eleganus. This 1 mm long, slender, and transparent nematode has been the star of the many path-breaking discoveries in the biology. 4 of them which have won the Nobel Prizes. V. Narayan appointed new Space Secretary and is Indian Space Research Organization Chief. Dr. V. Narayan, Director Liquid Propulsion System Center (LPSC) ISRO, Walimala, during an interview with the Hindu in the Thiruvananthapuram. Dr. Narayan, who is a rocket and spacecraft propulsion expert, joined the ISRO in 1984 and functioned in various capacities before becoming the director of the LPSC. Dr. V. Narayan has been appointed the new Space Secretary. Dr. Narayan, who is currently the director of the Liquid Propulsion System Center (LPSC), will also the new ISRO chairman, and he will take over from incumbent S. Somnath from January 14. The Appointments Committee of the Cabinet has approved appointment of V. Narayan, Director, Liquid Propulsion Systems Center, Walimala as a Secretary, Department of Space and Chairman, Space Commission for a period of 2 years with the effect of 14th January 2025 or until the further orders, whichever is earlier stated on an order from the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet Ministry of Personnel and Training. Dr. Narayan, who is a rocket and spacecraft propulsion expert, joined ISRO in 1984 and functioned in various capacities before becoming the director of the LPSC. During the initial phase of his career, he worked in the solid propulsion areas surrounding the rockets and augmented satellite launch vehicle technology. And a polar satellite launch vehicle (PSLV), he has also contributed significantly for ISRO's geosynchronous launch vehicle, namely GSLV MK2 and GSLV MK3. Inter-Ministerial Committee needed to strengthen AI governance, centers India Artificial Intelligence Mission. A command and control governance strategy may not be able to adequately promote the growth and expansion of the space, the Inter-Ministerial panel said. Panel set up a frame artificial intelligence guidelines indicators that the center seeks to maximize gains from the investments in the artificial intelligence while having a light regulatory framework to act as a guardrails against any potential harm. In a recognition that artificial intelligence has impacts on a wide range of fields, a union government panel mandated to develop artificial intelligence guidelines has recommended that an inter-ministerial committee to be set up to enforce artificial intelligence rules and ensure effective governance of the country's emerging artificial intelligence ecosystem. An advisory group of the Union Ministry of Electronics and Information Technologies, India AI Mission, headed by the Principal Scientific Advisor, is seeking public feedback on the report released on the Monday, January 7, 2025 by its Artificial Intelligence Guidelines Subcommittee. The report proposes a coordinated whole-of-government approach to enforce compliance and ensure effective governance as India's artificial intelligence ecosystem evolves. At last, there is a famous personality of India, that is Rabindranath Tagore, whose birth anniversary is actually 7 May 1861 up to 7 August 1941, was an Indian polymath who worked as a poet, writer, playwright, composer, philosopher, social reformer, and a painter of the Bengal Renaissance. He has shaped Bengali literature and music as well as the Indian art with the contextual modernism in the late 19th and early 20th century. Author of the profoundly sensitive, fresh, beautiful poetry of Gitanjali. In 1913, Tagore became the first non-European and white and the first Asian to win the Nobel Prize in any category, and also first lyricist to win the Nobel Prize in literature. Tagore's poetic songs were viewed as spiritual and mercurial, while his elegant prose and magical poetry were widely popular in the Indian subcontinent. He was actually the fellow of the Royal Asiatic Society, referred as the Bard of the Bengal. Tagore was known by the Supreme Poets Gurudev, Kavi Guru and Biswa Kavi. Tagore modernized Bengali art by the spurning rigid classical forms and resisting linguistic restrictions. Novels, stories, songs, dramas, and essays spoke to topics political and personal. Gitanjali, a song of Gora, Favorite Feast, and Garibari, the Home and the World, are his best known works, and his verse, short stories, and novels were acclaimed around panel for their lyricism, colloquialism, naturalism, and unnatural contemplations. Compositions were chosen by two nations as a national anthem. India's Nagaramana and Bangladesh almost soon heard Bangla. The Sri Lankan national anthem was also inspired by his work. His song Bangla Mati Bangla Chol has been adopted the state anthem of West Bengal. Rabindranath Tagore says a very famous quotation. He says that everything comes to us that belongs to us, if we create the capacity to receive it. Okay, thank you.